2.4 gigahertz, 20 tones, and 0. Those are probably three unusual numbers to describe a person, but I think they explain pretty well how I approach problems. The first is 2.4 gigahertz. Back in high school, I noticed that Bluetooth connections sometimes became unstable around Wi-Fi and even a microwave. I wanted to understand why. So instead of just looking up the answer, I started experimenting. I measured signal strengths, changed the conditions, and studied how different devices interfere with each other when they share the same 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. That experiment made me realize something about myself. When something behaves in a way I don't understand, I have a hard time just accepting it. I want to figure out what is actually happening. My second number is 20 tones. During my military service in Korea, I was a driver. During one training exercise, I was driving a military truck weighing roughly 20 tons through an off-road area. At one point, the path ahead was heavily flooded. For a truck for that size, there was basically no road left to cross. We couldn't make the water disappear, so my teammates and I had to figure out another way. We gathered wood, used sandbags, reinforced the ground, and created enough of a path to get the truck through. What stayed with me from that experience wasn't really the truck. It was the idea that the objective can stay fixed even when the route had to change. And my last number is 0. This summer, I've been working on a system that analyzes GPS data to detect suspicious behavior in outdoor events. One of the hardest problems wasn't detecting something unusual. It was deciding when the data was actually reliable enough to make a judgment. GPS data can disappear, jump, or be incomplete. And I realized that forcing the system to give a competent answer in those situations could be worse than admitting the evidence simply wasn't strong enough. So we designed the system to recognize those cases and send them for manual review instead. For me, 0 is the number of false certainties I'm comfortable with. So those are my three numbers, 2.4 gigahertz, 20 tones, and 0. They represent how I try to approach problems, being curious enough to understand what is really happening, finding another route when the original plan breaks, and being honest about what the evidence actually tells me. And those are my three numbers. Thank you for listening.